Good morning. Today I would like to talk to you about the letter L. Now, the letter L is a very frequently used letter, and we need to try and practice the sound in order to produce it efficiently. The letter L is frequently an enormous challenge for students from far eastern countries because the sound is not familiar. If you practice it using words that contain the letter on a regular basis, maintaining the correct tongue and mouth position, then these words and sounds will quickly become familiar and you will master them. The most important thing to remember about the L sound is that it is a lateral consonant. That means the sound has to escape laterally or sideways. So what we have to do is keep the tongue on the alveolar ridge. This is just behind the top front teeth. And if you press your tongue against that ridge, not on the teeth, just behind the teeth, and then if you activate the voice, you should hear L. When you release your tongue, you get the final sound of the L. 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 You need to stop your voice as you remove the tongue, otherwise it becomes L, like that, and it becomes clothy and inaccurate. If you keep your tongue firm on the alveolar ridge, L, 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 and practice removing it and stopping the sound at the same time. The other way you can practice keeping your tongue there is to put your tongue on the alveolar ridge and then try and say some vowels. Now, this is really hard. I've been practicing this morning, but I'm still finding it a challenge. L, I, O, U. I was trying to say A, E, I, O, U, but keeping my tongue in the lateral position. Let's try that again. So you put your tongue behind the teeth on that alveolar ridge, just inside the mouth. L, E, I, O, U. So I managed the long U reasonably accurately, but the others are really hard. So that's a good way of practicing where your tongue needs to go. There is some very interesting writing about the clear L and the dark L, and they have slightly different tongue positions. If you are just learning the L sound, you don't need to worry too much about the dark L. This is for people who are very interested in much more detailed phonetics and pronunciation. But if you are producing the L sound like L, L, you will be absolutely fine and you don't need to worry about more detail. So let's try some words that use the sound repeatedly. Why don't you listen to me and then repeat each word after me? Leave, last, letter, love, lend, alone. So there we have one in the middle of the word. Alone. Allow. Silly. Chilly. Fellow. Shallow. Holy. So my tongue is making a very brief visit to the alveolar ridge and coming away again so that the next sound can be pronounced. Let's do a few more where the L is the second letter. Blood, plastic, glue, glow. So the GL is quite tricky because we use the lateral part of the tongue, the side of the tongue, to produce that G. Glue, glow, click, cloth, clumsy, club. And there, when I said clumsy, I used too much of my tongue for the C, so it sounded like clumsy. But then the second time when I said club, I kept the tongue much lighter, and that's the trick with the L. Don't make it all breathy and heavy, because it won't work. How about a couple of sentences? Well, one of the tongue twisters that I use in my lesson 1, red lorry, yellow lorry. There we go, there's the L sound twice. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. And if you really work your tongue hard, it will get stronger, and it will become easier to use the more you use it. So that is the L sound, L, L, L. And you can practice it either with pressing your tongue to the ridge and trying to make sounds over the tongue. L, L, O, O, L. I do sound a little like Kermit the Frog, but there we go. You can also practice it by drilling, of course. You can L, 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 or you can L, 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 L. You can also la 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 la. That's a good way of practicing the L. There are tongue exercises that you can do, but it will look a bit odd if I sat here poking my tongue out at a webcam, and I might get classified as the wrong sort of video. So I'm not going to do that today. But if you're interested in tongue exercises, I thoroughly recommend you look them up and see if you can build some strength. I'm going to stop now because, as you can hear, my voice is weakening. I've had a terrible cold and it is sitting on my voice box still. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead and say goodbye. Now keep practicing, and if you need any more help, go to my website www.midwintertuition.co.uk. I don't have any availability for private lessons before July 2014, but you are more than welcome to visit my website and book yourself in for a Skype lesson, an elocution lesson over Skype. I've got lots and lots of students who use it very successfully. Lovely to speak to you all again. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you soon. Bye.